Have you ever rolled, sprained, or injured your foot? Have you ever been in a pair of these? Well, I hope you never have to, but if and when you do, you'll be able to come right back to this broadcast and get back to all the active things that bring you joy with the help of our natural toolbox along the way. So grab your slipper socks and snuggle in, because I am your healing hype squad of one, welcoming you to Throw It Out Thursday broadcast number 235. After an Easter weekend accident, our 10-year-old daughter Olivia injured her foot and landed her in these shiny crutches during the month of April and a boot during the month of May. And prioritizing her recovery while incorporating our reliable and natural tools was crucial for us. And I always keep my promises, and I promised to circle back around to sharing the protocols that we incorporated for helping her recover. So let's put one foot in front of the other, and we're going to dig in. First, I'll provide a little detail on the injury itself and the surrounding circumstances, and then I'll briefly walk you through the top 5 things that we did to help her thrive through her injury, recovery, and rehab. And by the time this broadcast is over, you will feel confident and ready to support yourself or a family member through their own injury rehab or your own. So here in this cozy nook, I am all about making learning and wellness fun and accessible and easy to incorporate. And our oils, they can't help us if we don't use them. So it's important to align yourself with a trusted advisor who will provide you simple protocols and break it down easily for you to understand why and how these tools can support you. And so you can easily put these principles into practice. So thank you for being here and for trusting me to share and document these experiences with you. Now, to briefly share the timeline. So it was Easter weekend in mid-April, and Olivia insisted on wearing a pair of cork sandals with a thick platform that were a little too big for her. And we arrived home after spending time with family, and as she walked into the mudroom from the garage to take her sandals off, we heard a loud thud and screams of pain. And she went to reach for the strap to take her sandal off and slipped and rolled her foot. And she could not put any weight on it, so we started using our oil protocols immediately. Once that helped the initial swelling go down, a few days later, she was still not able to put any weight on it whatsoever. So we knew it was more than just the type of twist or little tweak that maybe goes away the next day. So we took her in, and thankfully nothing was broken or fractured, but there was some mild swelling and some fluid retention around the ankle joint. So she left in crutches, and she was pretty miserable. And then she became really frustrated and really upset for weeks because of the limitations that she had. So imagine getting on the bus with these and a heavy backpack, and she needed special helpers at school. She could not participate in PE for the last 2 months of school of her 4th grade year. Going to drama practice after school was a challenge because they were practicing for the spring play. She missed out on being able to participate in all the activities at 2 of her best friends' birthday parties. She couldn't practice her archery at all. And the ortho had us come back after 2 weeks because she was still not able to put weight on it at all, which means she couldn't even think about getting into the boot just yet and actually using the boot. So by then she had lost muscle tone in her foot and ankle, and that part of her body was very, very weak. So she was in the boot at that time. She wasn't able to put weight on her foot. And so he said we really needed to work on reducing the inflammation and the fluid retention and getting her strength and mobility back in those areas. So she started physical therapy twice a week, and when we started physical therapy, she wasn't able to put any weight on her foot in the boot at all. And we were very diligent about doing all the exercises the therapist recommended, as well as continuing all of our oil protocols at home that I'll be sharing with you tonight. So how did she go from crutches in April and not putting any weight on her foot to learning to walk all over again and rocking the lead role of her Drama Kids performance at the end of May, running around the farm at my brother's wedding the first week of June, slaying her junior Olympic archery camp, getting to take part in the Lion King Jr. musical theater production in July, and having a most memorable and active summer? Well, thanks to our natural toolbox and some committed daily habits and a lot of tough love from mommy and daddy. So now that you're up to speed with what happened, let's dive into my tips. So injury recovery tip number 1 is to have a set of your superhero injury recovery support rollers at the ready. And think of this like your emergency first aid kit, so that next time an accident happens, you are ready to tackle the acute inflammation right away. So here are the oils in sequence that we layered over the painful areas of Olivia's foot, and you can apply these for any injury recovery or pain support scenario. But little fun fact, I had already blended these oils up, and you probably recognize some of them because I first shared them 2 years ago, actually, when George rolled his ankle and had a hairline fracture from slipping down the stairs. So at that time, the orthopedist said he would need surgery if it didn't improve, and thankfully, 6 weeks of this protocol and his ankle had improved and he was able to completely avoid surgery and he's completely back to normal. So ever since then, this Ouch Options or joint juice blend that has been my go-to has always been stocked in my cabinet. And so I recently added vetiver to the original 5 and it's already available in touch format. So that makes it an easy button to just use it as it is. And you can blend your own minis if you don't have the vetiver touch yet. You can blend from the regular bottle. So why these oils? Well, first, lemongrass, okay? So lemongrass is what we use for connective tissue support in her ankle. And so all of these are in little 5 ml roller format. The second one is Cypress. And this is what we use for circulation support and for reducing inflammation. And this was also the free oil of the month in July. So hopefully you have a bottle of that already. Third is Wintergreen, and this is what we use for bone health, joint pain, muscle pain, cooling support, and this was an oil in the Winter BOGO box. Hopefully you've got that. Fourth is the addition of the vetiver for weakened, damaged nerves in the ankle and foot area. And last, fifth and sixth is black pepper and frankincense. And both of these are soothing amplifiers, which is just a fancy way of saying they help drive the therapeutic benefits, the oils that you use before them, deeper into the skin, into the layers of the skin cells. So if you're layering, you can wait a minute for each oil to be absorbed into the skin before moving to the next, or you can just gently massage them into the skin if the pain is tolerable. If the pain is too fresh and ouchy in the beginning, you can repurpose an empty On Guard hand mist or whatever spray bottle you might have around the house and blend them together with some witch hazel or water and just shake and gently mist the area. Now, if the idea of layering is new to you, it's a great option when multiple concerns need to be addressed at once. So tendons, ligaments, muscles, bones. When bruising and swelling are a factor, like they were with Olivia's injury, increasing blood flow to the injured area by layering is really helpful to just kind of kickstart that healing. And combining 4 to 6 oils together has what's called a synergistic effect, which is just a fancy way for saying that they work well together. So roller blends are an easy button. If you'd rather just make a single roller, that's totally fine. So choose your own adventure. If you're missing one of the oils, you can substitute and reach out for help if you need suggestions. You can cash in your customer reward points to grab any missing oils for free. But let me know down in the comments if you've ever tried the layering technique with these oils. And also, the power of touch is truly transformative and restorative. So when it comes to our kids, anytime we can incorporate more loving touch into an otherwise traumatic experience, that can really help with their emotional balance and their desire to actively participate in their own healing. And then the healing comes from applying the oils frequently and consistently, so making that a habit is the easiest way to truly see results. And your kids can help you out with them because the rollers are teeny tiny and they're great and they can fit in their bag and they're fun for the kiddos. So injury recovery tip number 2 is the Deep Blue and Copaiba pain and relief stick. So Olivia used this for breakthrough pain on the go before and after her PT sessions, where she would be sore from using her muscles in ways that she hadn't for a while. And this really helped her be, again, participating in her own progress so that she could easily apply this in a mess-free way without getting the Deep Blue lotion in her eye if she had it on her hands, which she has done accidentally in the past, and we've all done that, and it's something that we will hopefully not do again. But this is an incredible no-brainer. It's an easy button for empowering your kiddos, people at all ages, aches, pains, arthritis, sprains, especially a simplified easy button for the kiddos. And we keep one of these in her archery bag now, and she uses it before and after every training camp session and every practice because it is a lot of shoulder and ankle work being on your feet for several hours too. And it's very subtle, it's very fast acting, and the pain just melts away kind of like an ouch eraser, if you will. And the texture is velvety, smooth, and gentle, and it just glides on without you having to apply a lot of pressure. Injury recovery tip number 3 is using a Velcro therapy gel pack. Now, ice is a key player in injury recovery because the cold constricts the blood vessels and decreases the circulation to that area when it's too inflamed. And this Velcro therapy pack can be used hot or cold. We keep it in the freezer, and it allowed Olivia to lay in bed or on the couch reading after her physical therapy sessions twice a week, or after she did her mobility exercises at home each day. And you can see that it secures in place, and it has this fabric that covers the ice pack so it isn't uncomfortably really cold. So this is a great one. Now, injury tip number 4 is the deep blue massage ball, and she used this for strength and mobility exercises between sessions. And we already had it around the house from the Relief Wellness Program. So if you don't already have one, you can find one similar on Amazon. They have little textured nodes on them for helping move the fascia and moving your muscles around and helping to wake up those muscles that haven't been used. And you can use a tennis ball, a golf ball, anything you may have lying around, but using a foot massage ball of any kind stimulates blood flow to the arch and improves circulation once that inflammation is gone. And we saw a huge improvement when Olivia started implementing the exercises at home that her PT was giving her. And she had gone weeks without putting any weight on her foot at all while she was in crutches. So all the muscles that needed to be awakened and retrained and toned and work up to that full capacity again. It's literally like learning how to walk again. And she used the massage ball also. This helped lower cortisol levels, which helps promote healing and recovery. And an added bonus is that it relaxes and loosens tight constricted muscles and ligaments, which help temporarily numb those little pain signals from the nerves in the foot after being in a constricted boot all day. So this was really helpful when she transitioned off crutches and into the boot only during that phase of her recovery. And the daily strength and mobility exercises and those simple tools became a part of her daily exercises to increase circulation and blood flow to that area, but also when she would be taking the boot off after school. So Olivia's PT office used an app also that we were able to easily access all of her strength training and mobility exercises, and things like that to really stay on top of it just helped create that habit architecture. And the boot was very tight on purpose to keep her foot and ankle aligned, but that also meant those areas needed to be loosened up. And so lastly, injury recovery tip number 5 is help with emotional support. She was very scared to begin putting weight on her foot. And mindset is everything. It fuels you to keep going. And we made sure that she realized that without full mobility back in her foot, she would have to give up her spot in the Junior Olympic Archery Development Program she worked really hard to secure. She wouldn't be able to participate in the Lion King Junior play this summer either. And we reminded her that we are here to help support her, but she has to take ownership of that fully. And so that FOMO made her realize how serious this was, and the boost from these emotional oils each day that we allowed her to put on and really encouraged her and said, you need to put your oils on. And then every single day she did this, it really helped to balance out that emotional roller coaster. And this is our go-to emotional support duo for several years now, Clary Calm and Peace, both layered on the ankle bones for hormone balancing, inside her wrists and behind her ears. And these are just so incredible, and you will have to comment below and let me know if you've tried this combo together. A few other things I want to mention is to make sure that you have a great medical team of professional resources accessible to you. So your insurance can recommend a physical therapy center or get a referral from a trusted friend or neighbor in your area. And your PT will give clear, concise milestones so that you know what you should be working on. And in Olivia's case, she needed to start putting weight on her foot so that she could use the boot and get off the crutches. And once she got off the crutches, she really needed to improve her muscle tone and her mobility and her strength in her toes and feet and improve her balance. And so that's where this really came in handy. And then she needed to adjust to wearing a sneaker on her injured ankle, and getting it acclimated to all these milestones really takes a village. And so her PT regularly measured her range of motion at each visit, so we had clear evidence of her progress. We also started taking her to a chiropractor weekly once she was toward the tail end of her recovery and enough swelling and pain had gone down, and that enabled him to readjust her joints and keep everything nice and aligned in her hips too, from wearing the boot, which is at a different height than her foot in the shoe. And so that can really throw off your walking alignment. So bottom line, using a combination of your oil tools and working with your medical team and having these conversations and making expectations and milestones really clear means everyone is on the same page. And as you've seen, if you've been following my Instagram stories, Olivia's foot is fully healed. No surgical procedures were necessary, and she is ready to take on her 5th grade year stronger than before. So now that we've reached the end, stay tuned for more on this topic, including some video footage that documents these milestones for you that I took over those months. And the most important takeaway here that I hope to leave you with is that our tools can't help us if we don't reach for them. So for 8 years now, since August of 2014, I have been sharing our lives with you as we kick chemicals to the curb and synthetic remedies to the curb and grab our natural doTERRA toolbox when we can. And it's important, obviously, to engage our medical community, but this is an integrative approach. And so I hope this topic empowers you to flex your label reading gangster muscle and just try even maybe one of these suggestions. And next time you or your family has an accident and you're dealing with extreme pain and emotional trauma before automatically reaching for an over-the-counter remedy, think of this and realize that you have options. And so I hope you see this doesn't have to be overwhelming. This doesn't have to be complicated. I hope you see that you can find a new way to approach this dialogue. Feel free to share information with anyone who could benefit from it. Tag them, share this broadcast with them. Sometimes seeing a friend or trusted advisor gently remind us how simple something can be is all the permission slip that we need. So a few little housekeeping items when you're ready to purchase the tools that I shared tonight. I've created a sampler bundle so that you can have everything that you need all bundled in one. You'll receive everything for 25% off, and you'll get to take advantage of the $50 in free oil cash offer that is currently running until September. You can tap the link in my profile to purchase directly or message me for help anytime. I have a welcome bundle of resources and accessories for you too, so you can get started right away. And I can't wait to connect with you and help you turn injury into recovery. So stay close for more. And now I want to hear from you. What are your tried and true go-to support protocols for pain and for rehab and for injury? I would love to know, because who knows, maybe I can add it to this protocol next time we have an accident, hopefully no time soon. But don't spare a detail down in the comments after you watch. Share with me. Also, a little bit of a programming note. You will see that Instagram has changed the formatting and now all videos are reels. So I hope you will stay flexible with me as we adapt to these changes. We adapt, we overcome, we always find creative solutions to solve our challenges. And then mark your calendar, because my next continuing education broadcast will be my annual first impressions, straight out of convention, streaming on demand like your favorite Netflix show the evening of Thursday, September 22nd. So there will be an entire new hero product line to unpack with you, and it is going to be, well, it's going to be amazing. So that is a wrap on broadcast 235. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.